mindful of your time as well as my own. Thank you, thank you, thank you for showing up. We are going to get started. My name is Gina Wood, and I teach skincare and color cosmetics with Mary Kay, as you know. And tonight, I'm going to give you just a little bit of information about the company and then let you hear from a rock star. Okay. So the first thing I want to tell you about Mary Kay is that we are a dual marketing company. And what that means is we make money off selling the product as well as making money off building teams. Should you decide to do one or the other, it's okay in Mary Kay. We, of course, want you to do both and get everything that Mary Kay actually wanted you to have out of this business. We do put God first, family second, and career third. I'm not sure how many folks get to say that, but I'm so very, very thankful that we do get to say it. There's no territories in Mary Kay. There's no quotas in Mary Kay. I like to cut up and say there's no police gonna knock on your door and be like, where you been, sis? Not going to happen. You're an independent contractor with Mary Kay Cosmetics. And what that means is that you are in control of your own business. You are not in business alone. We will show you the way. The way is paved. There's no need to make that wheel again and have it squared off. Okay. So should you decide that you want to build your team, I do want you to know that we are a debt-free company. All of our commissions come from the company. So whether you've been in 5 minutes and I've been in 5 years, we both make the same amount of money. When we sell the product for 50%, it's simple math. Sell it for 100, I put 50 in my pocket. Boom. We get paid immediately. Once someone hands you that cash, you put it in your pocket. It's not something that you have to wait till the end of the month and get a credit for. So that's just a little bit about Mary Kay. We are a fabulous company. We have lots of great things that I would love to tell you about. Then I'm going to turn it over to my girlfriend, Jess, and she is going to introduce our guest speaker tonight. Thank you guys for coming. We appreciate you so much.
Yay! I get to introduce my friend Joni. I haven't actually met her in person, but we connected over Instagram, and I just am in awe at her life, everything she does. So let me tell you about her a little bit, okay? So she's been married to Matt for 7 years. She has a son, Cooper, who's 9, Parker, who is 8, and a stepson, Camden, who is 23. Y'all, she started her Mary Kay business when she was 19 years old as a freshman in college. And just to get to the personal discount, but you guys in Mary Kay will appreciate this because listen, y'all, she earned her red jacket in 4 days. She went on Target for her car in 6 weeks, and she went into DIQ the following month. Like I can't even my breath is gone. So she completed all 3 new director programs with the Triple Crown in her first year, replaced her income by triple and quit, and Mary Kay has been her full-time family business ever since. And y'all, she's earned 10 cars. She just picked up her pink Cadillac like 2 days ago. And she's earned the company Miss Go Give in January 2020. She's completed the National Guard of Sales 8 times, double star twice, triple star 5 times. Her highest check in 1 month has been over $15,000. And there's so many more things I could tell about her, but we would be here all night. So without further ado, I'm going to hand it over to my girlfriend, Joni Cool.
Well, awesome. Thank you, ladies, for choosing to be on here and just hearing my story. So I think we've got a mixed group on here of consultants and guests. So thank you, Jess, for that beautiful introduction. It's so funny to me, always like hearing my accolades back. Matt and I have been married 17 years. I think you said 7. It doesn't really matter. But fun fact, Matt and I grew up together since birth. His parents, both of them, and my mom went to high school together. So we have grown up on the same street and traveled vacation together all growing up. And then I actually moved to Europe in college. And when I came home, my mom threw me a surprise welcome home party and we reconnected after a couple years. And the rest is history. So we eloped shortly after that, and we've been together ever since. And yeah, so that's just been really cool. And then, yeah, guys, we just picked up pink Cadillac number 3. That was our 10th company car on Tuesday night. And, you know, I thought I would be okay. After the 10th car, you know, it never gets old. It's never any less exciting, but I did not expect to be emotional. And if you guys are guests and you've never been to a consultant or director car pickup, or if you're a consultant and you've never been to your director's car pickup, For the Cadillacs, you get to like pull the pink satin off and unveil it, and it's in the middle of the showroom, and it's a big, big, big deal. And a lot of us bring little pink refreshments and stuff. But then you go back in the room and you sign a paper saying that you're receiving a new car from Mary Kay, and you sign a paper saying that you're receiving 2 sets of keys. And there's another piece of paper that's saying you're turning in a car and 2 sets of keys if you've already earned a career car. Same process. And when he handed me that paper, I just lost it. And my boys were like, Mom, are you okay? And I said, baby, people don't just get free cars, much less 10 of them. Y'all, I have been so blessed and fortunate to drive free for 17 consecutive years with Mary Kay. I know this is being recorded, probably not going on any sort of social media because, you know, we can't make income claims and all the things. But y'all, we have saved over $128,000 driving free with Mary Kay in 17 years. I don't know where you live in the country. I live in the Northeast in Pennsylvania, and you could buy a really modest home for that. Just in what we've saved driving free. I mean, it is such a blessing, such a blessing. We just bought a truck for my husband, and it's over, like, the monthly payments more than my mortgage. It's absolute insanity. So, like, what would that do for your life if you had a free car? Like, just dream just for a second. Or if you have a really great car, like, what if you could take the cash compensation? Because if I didn't want the pink Cadillac, do y'all know that I could choose $925 a month for 2 years? I mean, that's a lot of extra money. Like, you could put that towards your mortgage. You could put that towards children's private school education, towards college tuition, towards a wedding, a dream vacation, paying down debt, buying your husband a motorcycle. I mean, the sky's the limit. So here's a little bit about my story. So Mary Kay found me when I was 16. I had been using the products ever since then. I went to my friend's birthday party, and I was so mad at my friend Lauren because she had the Mary Kay lady come. And why I was mad is because I had horrible skin. I had horrible skin. And she said we had to take off all of our makeup and we were going to do a makeover. Y'all, let me tell you, when you are 16 and you have problem skin, the last thing you want to do is take off your 17 layers of caked foundation off because, you know, the more you put on, the less noticeable it is. That's not true. And what I remember about that evening is the Mary Kay lady, still to this day, don't remember her name. What I do remember is she made me feel special, and she made me feel important, and she made me feel seen. And she told me, she pulled me to the other side of the room, and she said, if you're not comfortable taking off your makeup, I'll send you home with some samples, and you can try them and let me know what you think tomorrow, and Lauren will still get birthday credit. It was like a hostess thing, but that's what she called it. What I didn't realize is everybody heard the conversation because, like, she was kind of loud and we were all 16 and eavesdropping on everything. And then what I figured out is everybody was equally as uncomfortable as me. And so we all just did this pact that we weren't going to take any pictures with our makeup off. So I do not have a picture from this party, but I've never forgotten it. And I remember how she made me feel. And I bought the products that night knowing about the satisfaction guarantee that you could buy them and you could return or exchange them for at any time for any reason, because Mary Kay takes care of the consultants so they can take care of their customers. And within about 5 days, I had not a single pimple. All of my acne was gone. I have sensitive skin. I have allergies to 34 ingredients. I had used 16 brands to the tune of $5,000 by the ripe old age of 16. Thank you, Mom and Dad, none of which could be returned. But my mom gave the lady her card number over the phone, and I left with everything we tried that night because my face felt different, and I knew this one I could return. And nothing has touched my face since for more than half my life. That was when I was 16. Now I'm going to be, I think, 39. I always forget how old I am. Anyway, I think I've been 37 like 3 years, a couple years ago. My husband's like, I think you're actually like a year older now. So that's when Mary Kay found me. And then I decided that it made sense to become a consultant. I'm going to tell you about that in a minute. When I went away to college, and I used Mary Kay from head to toe. If Mary Kay made it, I used it. Skincare, makeup, body care, fragrances, you name it, I used it. And so when I went away to college, I realized it was a little bit more expensive to live on my own without Mom and Dad paying for all my bills. And so I decided to be a kitnapper, and I bought the kit and I shoved it under my bunk bed in my dorm room, and I intended to tell nobody, not because I was ashamed of Mary Kay, but because I carried 24 course load credit all through college. Every single semester I graduated a year early. I was a double major, a minor. I got married in college, and I studied abroad 2 semesters, and I did it in 3 years. I'm a little bit of an overachiever, you might say. And so I just didn't have time. That was my big thing. I didn't have time. But what I really didn't know is I didn't know what I didn't know, right? Y'all have heard that phrase, you don't know what you don't know. And what I didn't know is this product sells itself. And so Mary Kay success kind of accidentally fell into my lap. I don't want to wrongly paint the picture that, you know, if you order a starter kit, the free car is going to roll up in your driveway. That's not what I'm saying. Anything worth having takes effort. But what I do mean is I was in my dorm room and I had one of those dorms, if anybody's been to college or you have kids in college, that you had like this big communal bathroom and there was like 10 showers, 10 sinks, 10 toilets, and everybody was like in this one big room and they walked with like their little shower caddy and their robes. Okay, that was my setup. And the girls on my floor would like run out of cleanser or they would forget eye makeup remover. And here's me, little prepared Joni with her little caddy of shower stuff. And they're like, can I have a little dab? Can I have a squirt? Can I borrow a cotton round? Can I try that? And they would use it and be like, oh my gosh, this stuff's amazing. Can I get it at Ulta? Can I get it at Sephora? This was before that. Can you send me a link? Okay, that wasn't like a thing yet. And so I started to accidentally get orders. And then I started to keep a little bit of cash and carry because everybody wanted everything like the moment they used it. And I'm like, hold the phone. Like my Starbucks are free now because everybody's like, I'm selling something every day. It might only be like a cleanser, but it was enough because, you know, if I sold a $20 cleanser, I got to keep 10 of that. Guess what? My venti was free that day in my mind. That's the way like I thought of money management back then. And so that was Mary Kay for me for 3 years, like all through college. I played Mary Kay. It was like a hobby. And my intention in Mary Kay at that season of my life was to pay for gas and tolls to go home on the weekends and see my boyfriend, who's now my husband. There was like no other bigger dream or goal to me in that season. And then fast forward, I graduated. I got a job in my field. I was so blessed to get a job in the field that I studied. I don't know, can anybody relate to like you graduating or your child graduates and they've got 6 figures in student loan debt and they get a job and it's not making a dent in their student loan payment and they're waitressing or doing retail to like, you know, bridge the gap. Okay, well, thankfully I did not have to do that. I hit the glass ceiling. I was a counselor for juvenile delinquents and I was an ordained pastor. Talk about two things that are, you know, semi-hypocritical. It was very draining. And I hit the glass ceiling and they wanted me to go back and get a 3rd degree. And at that time, I didn't want to. Now I have my doctorate. And so I didn't want to do that. I just didn't want to do that. And then long story short, I was mandated to work nights, weekends, and all major holidays. And that's not what I signed up for. I was a 7 to 3 counselor. Like 7A to 3P. There is no reason I should have ever been working doubles and triples overnight at a residential facility on the top of a mountain, snowed in, where I can't get down. The next shift can't get up. State requirements. So they wouldn't let me leave. I'm basically like handcuffed to this job. Didn't get to shower for 4 days. And when I was finally released to go home, I remember driving home and I'm like, this is not what I signed up for. This is not my job description. We have done foster care for 10 years. We've had 73 teenagers live with us. We no longer do that. It's a different season. But in that time, I had such a heart for troubled youth, and I still do. But I realized it wasn't really about the kids, and I burnt out, and I decided that I knew there was more for me. And I remember driving home that night, and I was like, I wonder if I really, like, if I worked Mary Kay differently, would I make big girl money? I remember calling it big girl money. And I remember calling my mentor at the time and I said, can I make big girl money with Mary Kay? And she said, my party tonight just canceled. I'm on my way there now. She just texted me and had a family emergency. I can just swing by your house and show you like what that would look like. I'm like, okay, let me just paint the picture. I'm walking in my house to my newlywed husband, 3 kids. Haven't seen my husband in 4 days. Haven't showered in 4 days. I walk in the door and I say, hey, honey, I want to quit my job and do Mary Kay full time. I think I can earn a free car. And my mentor is going to be here in a few minutes to show me how. Literally, that's how it went down. It was great. And he's like, okay. So we kind of agreed that, you know, maybe I should, I don't know, like replace some of my income before I just like walk away and like hope it works out. And so she kind of mapped it out for me. And she's like, look, if you held 3 appointments a week, about 10 hours a week, you'd probably earn a free car and you could replace your income. I'm like, come again? I'm working like 60 hours a week and they're not giving me a free company car. They're not even reimbursing me for my gas. Heck, I'm not even able just to work my normal shift and leave. But if I work 10 hours here, you're going to give me a free car. And she's like, well, it's not guaranteed. But if you let me teach you and you do what I teach you to do, and you're like, you know, trainable and like all the things, that's probably going to be your reality. And I'm like, cool. How long would I have to do that 10-hour a week thing before like I could realistically leave my job? And she's like, probably 3 months. I said, great. I don't want to take 3 months. So within 6 weeks, I replaced my job. I didn't just double my income. I actually tripled my income. And I put in my 2 weeks notice and I walked away. God would have his hand on it that somebody was being hired the same day I put in my 2 weeks notice. And that person was such a good fit. And I was so over it that they let me leave without any sort of like reprimand. Y'all, they called me to come back like 6 times in the first like 4 months. Like I left on such good terms. I'm like, nope, I'm good. Okay, so then that was it. That was 14 years ago. And then 8 years ago, we had a 14-month-old baby and a 2-day-old baby. I had come home from the hospital, like postpartum. You know, you're still in like that throwaway diaper thing. You know, anybody had baby? Remember those throwaway diaper things, like when you're postpartum and you still look pregnant, but there's no baby in your belly anymore? I'm in that stage. And my husband comes home and tells me that, well, he had a traumatic brain injury at work, and he was let go from his job. I'll spare you all the details, but it like was totally against like OSHA. There was no like medical report. Like it was everything they could have done wrong as a corporate company, they did and got away with it. And my husband lost his job, and we lost our benefits. We lost his salary that was almost 6 figures, like that. And I have a 2-day-old baby. And in that moment, I felt like the carpet had been ripped out from underneath us. But what I found in that season was we had just in our date night, like 2 weeks before, talked about, do you love your job? Do you want to retire there? Like this entire conversation, he's like, I'm a loyal person, so I love my job, but I don't know if I love it to like give him, 50 years and then retire from here. And I'm like, well, if you could like dream, what would you want to do? Now, mind you, Mary Kay at this point I'm like 9 years into Mary Kay. I'm like 6 cars into Mary Kay or whatever. Like this has been my sole income for a chunk of years. Okay. I'm making great money, earn lots of diamonds, trips, the whole thing. And I said, well, like, if you didn't have to work there, what would you want to do with your life? And so we were dreaming. He's like, I want to start my own business. I want to do this. I want to do that. And then this job thing happened. And I said, okay, well, can you handle cooking? Can you go make dinner? Can you start cleaning the house a little bit more? Can you shuttle the kids to and from? Can we basically role reverse for a little bit until I can like multiply my Mary Kay a little bit more, because I've got to replace your income until we figure out what's our next move. So in that moment, we switched what I guess you would call the society's like gender traditional roles or whatever. Like he became Mr. Mom. And what we realized was my stepson, who's 23, who I've raised since he was 3 years old. I mean, I've known him since he was born. We missed a lot of the firsts because he didn't live with us all the time. So like it just, as luck would have it, we weren't there when he walked for the first time and crawled for the first time and said his first word and, those things. And my husband didn't miss out on any of that with our newborns. And we very quickly realized that he was living his dream by being a stay-at-home dad. And that's been 8 years. And he's still home. And I will continue to work so he doesn't have to go back. He can go back at any moment. I don't want him to go back. We love the life that we've created and what that's created for us. I mentioned a little while back in my story about student loan debt. Praise God, I no longer have any of that. Hard work pays off, but I don't know why I felt like I should just share that, because my very good friend in Mary Kay, her Mary Kay profit has paid for her adult daughter to graduate college debt free, and she paid for her daughter's college education and like all the tuition, room and board, everything, which is such a blessing to be able to hand your kids an incredible education and them not have to pay for that, and they just have a clean slate to start their adult life on. And so what I love now that Mary Kay has been able to afford our family is we just got back this summer. We went on a 5-week road trip in our RV across the country to 18 states and 16 national parks. Y'all, it was 8,057 miles in 5 weeks. We saw so many epic places. And now we're planning a southern trip. We've done the whole eastern seaboard. We're planning New England right now. The kids don't know, but we're going to Alaska. And we're going to do Montana, Washington, Alaska. They don't know. And like my oldest keeps coming down saying you can't fall asleep. So I don't want him to hear it. But it is just like the financial blessing to be able to travel and to do things and not have to ask for PTO. Like today there was a hiccup at school and I had to run in quick and take in a water bottle and take care of some things at school that if I worked for somebody else, I would have had to use PTO or work through lunch and stay late. I would have had to use sick time or personal leave or whatever. I don't have to miss the field trips. I don't really want to be the PTO mom, but I get to go on every field trip. I get to be there and come in and bring treats and read to the class when it's their birthday. My kids go to a private school, which yes, has tuition. Those are the things that are so priceless to me. When my dad was dying, he's since passed. I got to be at every doctor's appointment with him, at the oncologist. I got to be by his bedside when he was taking his last breath and plan a funeral and not be rushed. Listen, death's inevitable, but it can be peaceful. I didn't have to say, no, I can't come with you to the appointment. I didn't have to send my mom to be there with him alone. I got to be there, and I still got to earn a car in the same month that we buried my dad. He was cremated, but you get the reference. Where else in America can you do these things and have these opportunities? I was just talking to somebody an hour ago, literally an hour ago, and she just got let go from her job because she had 2 deaths in her family this month, and she didn't have any bereavement or personal pay. She didn't have anything stocked. So they said, oh, you've missed too many days. I'm sorry, we're going to have to let you go. They had her pack up her desk today. To be able to work for a company that's God first, family second, career third, that truly is, I know Gina introduced us saying that it is a company that's debt free. Y'all, do you know how big that is? You've got companies like Saturn, Sears, J.C. Penney's. You've got airline companies going out of businesses, merging. You've got other direct selling companies completely shutting their doors. You've got places that are doing buyouts and they're completely folding and filing bankruptcy. And here's Mary Kay giving us bigger and better cars, more trips, more opportunities. Just a few months ago, they're like, hey, we're going to give you another way that you can earn income. We're just going to add in some extra bonuses you can earn. Nowhere else in America, nowhere else in the world is doing that. And we're the #1 brand in the entire world in skincare and color cosmetics. So for the guests on here that are wondering, like, could this be for me? Here's what I have to say to that. Y'all, if you would have told me 3 degrees ago that I was going to be selling mascara and moisturizer, I would have literally laughed. I would have fallen off my chair right now. I would have laughed so hard. Was skincare my dream? No. But it sure has afforded my family with our dream life. And I wouldn't trade it for the world. I wouldn't trade it for the world. And to have my kids, there's a phrase in Mary Kay that we use called growing up pink. To have my kids do what we call grow up pink, they don't know what life is like without Mary Kay. They've only ever known. They didn't come home in a pink Cadillac. That was someone else's dream. That wasn't my dream. But now all they remember is pink Cadillacs. They came home in a free Mary Kay car. And now they've been there for 3 pink Cadillac pickups. And my favorite pink Cadillac memory, sometimes people ask me this when I do little Zooms. They're like, what's your favorite memory of the pink Cadillac? That would be day 1 of taking my oldest to kindergarten. And when it was pickup time, because we pick them up, we don't make them take the bus. Because we can, choices, right? I get to choose to go pick up my kids from school. And the principal that day said, what color car does your mom drive? Like what, it was the first day. So they're like, they haven't memorized yet what parent drives what car and make the association. And he goes, pink. No, what color is your mom's car? Pink. No, I mean, when your mom gets here, what color car are we looking for? Pink. Okay. Well, when she gets here, just point to her. Okay. It's like, okay. So a couple cars later, here I come in the pink Cadillac. And he looks at her and he goes, I told you it was pink. Y'all, first world problems when I go to Chick-fil-A and they can't find my car in the drive-thru when you do a mobile order because pink isn't a choice on the menu. They're always looking for a white SUV because it's the closest they got. So here's what I want to leave you with. And then I think we'll probably maybe open it up for questions, I guess. Mary Kay's been with me as a single girl, as a married girl with no kids, as a married girl with toddlers, and then now as a sole income for my entire family. I was able to replace my husband's nearly 6-figure corporate income in 90 days. I don't say that to impress you, but I say that to impress upon you that right now in this economy, which hopefully is going to get a little bit better. I feel like we've all been holding our breath, maybe, but maybe not. You're in control of so much of your life choices. And what if this could offer you a tank of gas a month or a one trip to the grocery store, or that you could make double the minimum payment on the credit card that you racked up? Or what if it's a little bit that in towards the savings account for a dream vacation that you could pay for your family, compliments of Mary Kay, and being disciplined and working your business? Just take the dream off the shelf and dust it off, because I feel like a lot of us have lost our dreams and our visions since, the COVID craziness, I feel like it dampened so much. It's not a marriage, it's not a mortgage, and it's not a tattoo. It's $35 to dip your toes in and see if it's for you. And the worst case scenario, I can't see really any of the guests except one on here because I'm seeing names. But listen, here's the worst case scenario because some of y'all are a worst case scenario person. Are you ready for it? If you're already using the products, the worst case scenario is you're going to pay half price for your personal products. That's it. There's no annual membership fee. There's no cancellation or termination fee. There's no renewal. There's no auto ship. There's none of that. $35 and you get a number to order at wholesale, kind of like Sam's Club, Costco, and BJ's. And anything you sell, you make 50%. That's it. That's it. If you want a full-size kit to have people in person try the products, there's an optional add-on for that. If you want little sample packs to work virtually, we kind of do these Zoom things with samples and people try them. There's an optional add-on for that. But $35, that's your commitment. Y'all, without my husband, I took my 2 kids, just the 3 of us the other night. I don't know what he was doing, I think he was watching that fight or something. We went to Chick-fil-A. It was more than $35 just for the 3 of us to get a meal at Chick-fil-A. And it did not make me money. And it did not give me the opportunity to pay any bills or make any savings towards a vacation. So don't overthink it. If anything that we have said or that you've read or that you've heard has piqued your curiosity, you owe it to yourself, I think, to give it a try. Nobody has ever gotten dumber, poorer, or uglier by trying Mary Kay. I'm just saying. So there you go. That's me. I'm Joni.
Oh my gosh, Joni, I love you so much. And I can't wait to hug your neck. You are so amazing, so inspiring, and just jaw dropping. Seriously. So if anyone has any questions, just pop them in the chat. I will make sure they get to Joni. Make sure they get answered because we like to keep our time short, sweet, but we could not stop her. I could hear her talk forever. She's just so amazing. So Jill's going to pop on really quick and have you put your answer in the chat. We do this research for Mary Kay. I'm going to let her tell you about it, and then we'll close on out.
Okay, so out of curiosity, what would you $35? I can't agree better. They didn't have this offer when I joined, so it's $100. I didn't know if you're showing the things in the back. Oh, there they go. So it's just simple answer. Text your consultant if you're a guest on here tonight. Text them. Are you an A, B, or C kind of girl? A, I would prefer to stay a customer and I'm okay with paying full price for retail. Or B, I would be open to being a personal use consultant, signing up for $35 and getting all my personal products at 50% off. Or C, oh my gosh, for $35, I could absolutely benefit from a side hustle, earning some extra cash on the side. So reach out to your consultant, let her know which one of these are. And I'm sure she has an amazing gift for you if you choose to sign up tonight or when you watch this video. So yay. Joni's story is amazing. Are there any questions in the chat?
I don't think so. Look, we're getting good at this. We got 2 minutes.
Y'all, we appreciate your time more than you know. That's the one thing that you cannot get back. So thank you for being with us. Thank you for thinking pink with us tonight. Thank you for opening your mind and hearing a little bit different. I pray that tonight as you sleep, you have pink dreams like I do. Should you have anything that pop in your head, law of average, what is it they say? It takes 37 seconds for it to pop out. So write it quick so you can ask those questions. Text us, email us. We're going to follow up with you. We love you. We appreciate you. We want your money either way, whether you want to be a full price payer or if you want to be on our team. We want you to be part of this pink bubble. And we are the #1 best-selling brand in the world. And we represent the #1 best-selling brand. You are going to be loved and appreciated and taken care of, whether you're a consultant or a customer. Just know that you're stuck with us for life until my toes turn up and my nose gets cold. Is that what I'm supposed to say? Thank you again for your time. We appreciate y'all. Good night.